What's up, guys? Welcome to Our Generation Podcast. I'm Marco, your host. OG Podcast is a podcast where we interview many creatives doing great stuff in their field, whether it's in sports, art, music, or even in the corporate world. And today's guest is Mike. He's a recently second league Swiss champion, and he's gonna tell us a little bit about his journey, how he got to the championship title, and also in general how he lived through his basketball process. Mikey, welcome.
Thank you, man. Thanks for having me. Really happy to do this podcast with you and really happy to be in the first episode.
Likewise. It's an honor, bro. I mean, we go way back.
Oh, we do.
We know each other since we're like 13 years old. So it's 10 years of hate and friendship.
Mm-hmm.
But first it was rivalry.
Of course, yeah.
I mean, obviously you were better than me. I have to say it.
We don't have to say that.
Only for the podcast, like, just because he's the guest. But on the other side, I'm gonna tell you what's real. But yeah, again, congrats on winning the Swiss championship.
Appreciate that. Thank you.
Take us through your journey. I mean, it isn't easy playing in general basketball at a higher level. I mean, the second league or second division is a pretty tough, how can I say, league
Mm-hmm.
just for players in general. I mean, you played for GC since the academy, and
Since I was 17, yeah.
yeah, and tell me a little bit how the journey went on until you got there, like to the second division, or
Yeah.
like the first days of basketball.
The first days of basketball, well, so I grew up in Geneva, and that's like the basketball culture there is at a really high level.
True.
And like at school, we're just playing in the playgrounds. We're just playing basketball. That's mostly what kids would play. I mean, here I think it's mostly soccer or football, whatever you want to call it. But yeah, so obviously if your friends start playing, you want to play too. You start being competitive. You want to be better than your friends. And then obviously the sports basketball is a beautiful sport. So I kind of fell in love with it when I was playing there. And yeah, I quickly started playing in a club in Geneva
Okay.
where my friends were playing in the same quartier. And yeah, I was like 8 or 9, I think, and I played for a year there. And then I moved to Zurich with my mom and my stepdad, who is Serbian. Like his son was playing in Divac, who is a club in Zurich, and
Where we used to play.
where we used to
Shout
play.
out.
And it was my first club when I came to Zurich. Like he basically yeah
Sends you up there
send me to the first practice on a Saturday, and I was like, okay, let's do it.
New
I
journey
mean,
ahead.
obviously I didn't know anything about Zurich, so I just wanted to play basketball. And obviously he knew the coach there, and he knew the team. And yeah, I started playing there. But for a long time we played they didn't really have a U14 team, so I always played with the older guys, and I was like 10, 11.
Okay.
So it was good because I improved a lot, but at the same time I couldn't really like have games or anything or be competitive, which I had in Geneva, and I could not really know where I was standing at level wise. And I thought I was really good because I was always playing with the older guys. I mean, I was talented, but yeah, I could just not really see where I was at which level. But yeah, I improved really fast, and for like 2 years, I think I practiced with them with the U16 team, which were 4 years older than me. Improved really quickly, and at some point we had like a U14 team or U16. I don't really remember.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when I started playing. That's when we started playing games, and I remember my first game was against you,
Yeah.
Koroc. Korac against
Shout out.
Divac.
Shout out.
And that's where the rivalry started. And our
Oh, yeah.
friendship also.
That's true. I mean, from hate to love to a great friendship. I mean, we even became friends or teammates even at Divats when we were like 17, 18.
Mm-hmm.
So we had a journey where we could have, or we were quite following each other or our steps.
Yeah.
But you then went over to GC, to the academy, because as for the people who don't know, GC Academy is, let's say, quite a successful organization. They won several Swiss championships, even with the junior level.
Yeah, I mean, they're for sure the biggest club in Zurich, for sure.
Even
I mean,
in the east of Switzerland, to be honest. Like
yeah,
East
I mean,
Coast.
I don't want to
Besides
say
Lugano and
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know, but
I would say it's the
German-speaking.
biggest club in Zurich, and yeah, I mean, I knew I had to make a step up, obviously, and to
Mhm.
be honest, I made it a bit too late. I was 17 when I moved. Now looking back at it, I should have done it when I was 14 or 15, but it's fine, you know. I did it with 17, and yeah, and then obviously I played for the U20 team there. Um, the coach didn't really like me at first, obviously because I came from Divac and he already had his players that were there for years. But
Obviously, yeah.
after like 2 or 3 months, he started liking the way I played and approached the game, and started to play really quickly. And I had a really great time for like 2 seasons in the U20. And then
Mhm.
obviously the goal when you're playing U20 is to play to go up in the NLB team, and so they gave you the opportunity to train with them sometimes, so you realize what the level is and where you're at, if you're ready or not.
And how
But
was that?
I mean, it was tough because at that time we had a lot of players, older players in the team. They were not really letting the young guys play. It was more like come to practice if we don't have enough players and anything.
Okay, yeah,
So
that's
you had to
unfortunate.
be really, really talented, really, really good,
Mhm.
and they were giving you garbage minutes if they would take you on the game. So it was a bit tough.
You were just a filler when someone was
Yeah,
missing.
and most of the time you had to do this after your practice, so you had to practice with them
Oh,
after yours.
yeah.
So it was hard, but I mean, in most teams, it's like this for young guys. I mean, that's what you need to go through, and
Obviously.
it also builds character, so it's okay.
Mhm.
And so yeah, basically for 2 years, 3 years, I think I did everything to go up, and then at some point, I got to the first team, and yeah, that's basically my way to the GC NLB team.
Amazing. No, I mean, I always wonder because not many see the background story. I mean, everybody sees the medal, you winning the championship, but don't know the whole process where everything began. I mean, especially with the culture. You switched cities, you moved to Zurich, and I obviously grew up in Zurich. And football is quite the sport here in Zurich, and I mean, it was surely also a culture shock for you moving there and seeing nobody actually playing basketball, because basketball wasn't really that loved or hyped in
Mhm.
general in Zurich. So I mean, to still pick up the basketball surely is nice for you, you know. I
Yeah.
mean, it's interesting that you even chose basketball although everybody else was playing football, you know.
Yeah. I
But
mean, yeah. I mean, to answer this, like obviously the way I explain it now, it feels like I played basketball forever,
yeah, true.
but it's not the case. I mean, I did hesitate on other sport. I did play other sports, and
Same, yeah.
I actually, football was a sport that I actually was obsessed with. And at some point, I wanted to be a professional, and I wanted to choose football, which I didn't do at the end, but I made, as when you're young, you just make that decision, and the next week you just want to change again. And so it happened to me
True.
a lot of times. And yeah, I played also football when I came to Zurich because obviously everybody was playing it.
True.
And in Geneva, I also had something in mind. I wanted to try football, also tried tennis, but
Even I tried football first, then I played tennis for 7, 8 years, and
yeah,
then I switched to basketball.
I
Now
think
counting.
like I don't know anyone that didn't try football that is a basketball player that I know now, or that didn't
Sure,
try other sport. Like
sure.
everyone I talk to is like, yeah, I played football.
But I feel like it's healthy for you as well to have another viewpoint of the other sports, because if you only pursued basketball, would you still love it the same, or
Mm-hmm.
wouldn't you have been even more interested in the other sports, or of trying it still out, or saying, okay, basketball at 17, I don't want to do it anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Let's just play football as a hobby, or tennis, or whatever, you know?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's just great. Like I love sports in general. You know, obviously basketball is the sport that I choose, but that I chose. But at the end of the day, like I love every sport, and I'm happy I did all of those sports because like
Same.
today, sometimes I just want to play basketball in the summer, and the fact that I have still some skills in other sports, um, I can
I
play
mean,
play football.
we pick up the tennis rackets and
Yeah,
go.
and we just go play. And I think to enjoy a sport, you need to be quite good at it. I think you're not gonna enjoy it if it's not the case. When you're young, it's okay. You learn, and you play with other kids that are not so good,
True.
and so it's okay. But yeah, I mean, now I'm happy I played all of those sports, and I'm really happy also with my decision of having chosen basketball as my sport. Let's say it like this.
Amazing, bro. That's beautiful. I mean, finding your talent or craft surely isn't easy, but maintaining that craft and even upgrading your levels is also something that you have to consistently do. So, my next question is, how important is for you the maintenance of body, mind, and soul, and how do you prepare that even for the off season, in season, and also for the postseason playoffs? I mean, every stage has a different level of pressure that you have to take on. So how do you handle it, and how do you practice it, or what is your routine?
Well, I think you have to do kind of what works for you, and only with like every year you learn something about yourself and how you need to approach the game in a different way. Obviously, when I was young, like you don't really think too much. You just go through everything, and you're like, I'm gonna figure it out. And then you played some years, things happen, injury, and I mean, you not playing, whatever. And you just builds character, and you figure out how you need to approach the game in a different way. The way I did approach it before was more in a like hard work way, and just it's gonna pay. And I didn't really think about how I would approach the game, like in my mind when I started a game. Like it's not. I just thought, I practice and I show up to the game, and I'm gonna be better because I practiced more and because I'm more talented. But I realized that you need to have a healthy mind, and you need to have a good lifestyle. It cannot only be about basketball in a way. You need to be happy and in a
Mhm.
positive mindset to be able to perform. And I realized that this year because um, through the end of the season, the whole team was really positive, and was in a really good mindset,
Mhm.
and we won. And this is something that is a first for me, because I was always like kind of in a underdog mentality. I'm just gonna prove them. It's good, but it's a bit of a negative
It's quite
mindset.
toxic as well.
It's a bit toxic. It's like I'm just hard work. I'm not good enough. I need to work more.
You're not pushing yourself.
Yeah,
You're
and you never reward yourself when you're doing
never. Yeah.
something, and then so you forget why you're playing, and it's all about the results and not really about why you started playing, which is enjoying the game.
Mhm.
And you're like, okay, you just lose your mind kind of. And so it's a really toxic relationship that I had with basketball until this year, to be honest, and it just clicked. I just, to be honest, I just didn't took basketball that serious anymore, and I started playing better. So I think that's a big advice that I can give. I
Mhm.
mean, still go train, do everything you need to do, but your mindset should be like, I play this because I enjoy it. That's about it. Like, and everything else is like, don't overthink it. It's just gonna come, you know. Um, yeah, and you need to have a good mindset. You need to work hard. You need to be hardworking, and you know, like being like wanting more, having goals, everything. That's fine, you know.
I mean, they have to be there.
They have to be there, and you need to come at practice, and you want to show, you know, that you're here and everything. But like, if you're not enjoying the game, like, if you're not like showing up there, and because it's gonna feel like you're going to work basically,
Sure.
and you want it to feel like you're going to enjoy the game that you always enjoy in playing. That's
Like
how it
as
should feel.
like a kid, you know,
Like a kid.
playing basketball with your friends when you're like 14, 15. You're so euphoric
Yeah.
going to play just to play basketball, not to, I don't know, do whatever to improve or whatever
Mhm.
reason to go there just because your mind can sleep than better because you went
Exactly.
training or whatever.
And that's how you get really in the zone. Like the best games I had is when I just don't overthink it. It's not like I'm gonna get the ball, I'm gonna do this when I get the ball. It's like you're just in a zone. I'm like, I'm here, I'm in the moment, I enjoy it, and my mind, you know, you practice those shots a million times. It's not like you need to think about it now. You just let your mind do the job, your instincts, and it's gonna be fine. And if you're not good enough, you're not gonna. I mean, if you're not ready enough, then it's gonna show. But don't overthink it. I mean, if you're prepared, you're gonna be prepared. You know,
It's gonna show.
it's gonna show. It's not. Oh, I should have done this or I should have done that. If you didn't do that at that moment, it's you were just not prepared.
Facts. Facts. I mean, results are always shown, and then you see what is happening
Mm-hmm.
on the court. So yeah, you cannot run away from the truth.
Yeah, from the truth. But I mean, it's a lot of things. It's not like you have a bad performance and it's because
It's
you didn't
because
work
you didn't
hard.
work hard, yeah,
I
I
mean,
mean,
it's a lot
obviously.
of. I mean, that's not what I'm trying to say. It can be a lot of other things, like just the fact that, like me, I wasn't in the right mindset, or I just didn't have enough experience to know how to approach the game. And
Or
now,
just simply a bad day, you know.
simply a bad day, because there were times where I would work way harder before and I would have bad games, and there was like times where I just wouldn't work a lot. I didn't care much and I would play better. So the mindset is important, to be free in your mind, you know.
So a easy mind brings the
Yeah.
most results for
But
you.
that's how you're in the zone. I mean, in every sport you can ask anybody, when you're having fun, when you don't overthink it, it's like it's just everything is happening by itself. And when you think too much,
True. Yeah.
you just it just feels robotic. It just doesn't feel smooth,
No, not at all.
and that's not what you want.
True.
So yeah.
So on your off days, what do you do to free your mind, to ease your mind from the basketball game?
Well, in my off days, well, I like to do in the summer, like I told you, I like to do other sports. I mean, I like sports a lot, but obviously I have days where I don't do anything. And you know, obviously, you know that I like to watch movies a lot, and we do that together a
Facts.
lot.
Facts.
We go into the cinema, and you know, we love cinema.
We could actually do
Podcast
YouTube,
about
YouTube channel, the
channel, yeah.
podcast, and just simply,
I would talk for hours about movies.
bro,
Actually-
why not?
Actually, it's a good idea,
Why
to be
not?
honest.
The recent movie we watched was Dune 2, I guess.
Yeah, banger. Dune
I
1,
recommend it.
sorry, pretty bad, but
But I told him.
I was like, I'm not gonna watch Dune 2.
I
Dune
told
1
him,
is
"Bro,
trash.
Just wait, just wait. It was just.
I just went because of him, and
You're welcome.
it was a banger. My
You're
God.
welcome.
Timothy, man,
I
wow.
hope you watched it too. Yeah, Timothy.
Never saw a bad performance from this guy.
Bro, top 3 actors for you.
Yeah, right now for sure.
Timothy. Who else? We need to know. Come on.
Right now.
Yeah, Timothy for sure. From the
Now,
action.
bro, I thought it was a basketball podcast. Now you're putting me on the spot.
Bro,
Wait.
we gotta get off topic a
I'm-
little bit, you know.
Yeah, bro, I'm not good at names, to be honest. Like, I have someone in mind, but I don't remember his name.
Okay, then let's say.
I mean, because you said right now. I mean,
Uh-huh.
obviously I have favorite actors, but they're not like really in right now.
Doesn't matter. I mean,
I mean, obviously, Brad Pitt, it's a bit easy.
No
and
brainer.
how is his name again? The guy who plays Batman?
oh, Christian Bale.
Christian Bale. Yeah, Christian Bale is for me from a talent perspective, most talented guy. Obviously, he's for sure
So
hardworking,
dedicated.
but it's like he can do so different roles that it's just crazy.
Yeah. speaking of him, I mean, his dedication shows a lot also how athletes approach
Mm-hmm.
the sport.
Oh yeah, true.
So,
True.
I mean, not only in American Psycho where he was just like working
Yeah,
out,
the way he's losing weight and like the way he prepares for movies is
insane.
out of this world. Like I never seen this before. But
Wow.
it's not only that, you know, you could prepare and show up and not, you know, I mean he's really
He loves
talented
it. I mean, he loves
and
it
he
as well.
loves it.
I
And that's
mean,
the thing. He loves it. He goes there and I think he has a blast when he's doing his job, you know, and that's
facts.
how I think you get in the zone and that's how I think Timothée is doing it as well. So, yeah, for
Totally
sure.
agree. Totally agree. So tell me, how does a season look for you? The mentality, you have to be locked in. The team chemistry has to be there. I mean, you have good and bad days. How do you manage it? I mean, you had a bad game. What goes through your mind? What is the first thing you have to do, or you're going to do?
The first thing is do nothing, bro. Like
It's not that deep, or
I used to overthink it. I used to watch my games and you know, it's hard to watch yourself doing mistakes.
yeah, true.
I think you need to watch it once and then just drop it. You just I mean, you remember. That's the thing. Sometimes I don't remember the baskets I did. Like obviously if it's a tough shot, I'm gonna remember it. You know, like an end
Obviously.
1-3 or a dunk, obviously.
Or do
But
you remember when I blocked you?
fuck you.
I had to remember him every day.
That's his biggest basketball highlights
Since I retired,
of his career.
I don't play anymore. I'm
Blocking
gonna,
me.
I'm
Literally,
I'm
it's
coming back, but I have to remind him just keep him on the.
he's gonna remind
on the
me for
ground,
my
you know?
whole life. It's crazy, bro.
I'm
It's
gonna
like
make a
it's just
t-shirt
a
out of
block,
it.
and we literally have a picture about it. And
Bro, you even won by 20 or 30.
but all the fucking 200 buckets I got on you, no pictures about that. I mean, just the block of
That's
you're the
why-
block on me, bro.
That's
Like,
why it's going to hang in a museum.
shit.
Period.
That's so funny.
I'm sorry.
But yeah, back to your question. I mean, that's the thing. Like you always remember your mistakes. It's just like when I had a game, I remember every mistakes I did, but I watch it once again, and then I just forget about the game. Like I watch the video, I'm like, okay, I should have done this. I watch the situation, I analyze, and then I don't. Literally, I don't watch the game.
Do you also watch
ever.
film? Do you watch the
Yeah.
tape afterwards with the team?
Like, yeah, we always do that. Um, we always watch our tapes, and obviously our coach tells us what we should have done better. Most of the time, it's more on defense, you know, not really offense, but offense too, obviously. But it's different, you know. Obviously, he cannot tell every player everything they did, so
Detailed, yeah.
you do this by yourself, and I just like see everything. But like after a bad game, you just need to focus on the next one. Like don't overthink it.
Keep on moving.
Yeah, don't be emotional about it. You're gonna be it, obviously, automatically. You're gonna be emotional about it, but like if you think too much about it, if you stay in that game, then in the next game you're probably gonna play bad too. So you just need to act like literally the game never happened. It's just behind you, and then it's
Mhm.
another game. Literally.
It's the same when you're playing and you shot like 2 threes,
Yeah.
but you missed them. You're not gonna stop shooting.
Yeah, and that's hard. That's even harder, I think, because forgetting about the game, you just say you have a bad day. But when you shoot bad while you're playing, in your mind, it's like that's it. I have a bad game, so
Mhm.
I'm just gonna break everything that follows.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's even harder mentally to be in the game and be like, yeah, I just missed, but it's like I have practice where I had a really good practice and I was also missing 3 or 4 in a row, and then I made 10 in a row, whatever. And so it's not really about, you need to be in the next moment already and feel like it's just a bad moment, and then there's a next moment and you're not having a bad day, because if you think about it, it doesn't make any sense.
True.
I mean, you can have a bad day, but most of the time it's also mentally. If you think you're having a bad day, it's going to turn out that way. So if you're just like, I'm just going to shoot and I know I can shoot and I don't care, like it's going to go in, at some point, then do it. But obviously, you have different roles in a team, and obviously, you know how many shots you can take, and then you're gonna know, okay, at some point you're gonna have maybe to stop and say, okay, someone has maybe a better day or is feeling more confident because he just made some baskets. Let's fit him.
Mm-hmm.
Let's put your ego on the side. So it's a bit of balance of everything.
And how do you, I mean, to put your ego aside, not everybody is the same as you. I mean, I watched many games, even the playoffs, I watched even online, and I really saw the team chemistry. Everybody had their role. They were so locked in defensively, offensively. They knew what they were doing. And I saw, for example, somebody is having a bad day shooting wise, but they're so much stronger than in the defense. Is this something that the coach told you all, or is this something that is just, you know, your team and you know that's their strength?
Well, I was actually obviously I was shocked that we could do. I mean, it's hard because we are, by the way, the youngest team in GC history, NLB team, and
Wow.
and
Who
I
won?
mean who
Who
I
won?
mean no, the youngest NLB team ever in average.
Wow. Okay.
So
In the league.
and yeah, and we won.
Wow.
So it's crazy, and
Wow.
I
What was
didn't.
the average? Sorry.
Uh, I don't really remember. It's something like 22, I think, maybe
Wow.
23. I don't know. Maybe even younger. I don't know the stats, but I
That's
I
insane.
know that we're the youngest, and we were in the league. We were the third youngest team. So yeah, but I mean, so that's why I didn't really expect us to have such a right mindset. And to be honest, our coach is the reason why. And we had big egos at the beginning of the season and everything. But I think when we realized we could actually go far in the tournament, then you like, yeah, your ego, cool, but like you can win a championship this year. So just do whatever you need to do, and it doesn't really matter if you don't get your stats or anything. Because at the beginning of the season, it was more like, okay, I don't know if we're going to make it to the playoffs. So let's just have a good season, have good stats and everything, and improve. But when you realize you can actually win it, then it's a whole different mindset. Then you're like, okay, everyone needs a role now, and everyone needs to know what we need to do. But it was also a team where we didn't have a superstar or anything. I mean, we have better players than other, but we always played as a team, and that's why we won. And some days, someone was just playing better, and we knew that, and
You just simply
yeah,
trusted each
we
other.
trusted each other, and we knew that we were gonna win with defense, and that's like it doesn't matter what's going on in the offense. We're always gonna defend hard. I mean, it was one of our biggest strength this year. So yeah.
Wow. No, really well done. I mean, I was amazed just simply by watching you playing so well. Not only you, but the whole team. Because, yeah, as I mentioned, you just saw it was just a well working motor going through any team winning, even though it wasn't easy at the beginning. And also, the playoffs isn't easy. I mean, in the season, you're okay. It's allowed to lose
Mm-hmm.
a couple of games and still
Yeah, less
be in the
pressure.
playoffs. Less pressure, but it switches in the playoffs.
Definitely. I mean, we lost the three first game in the season, and that's why I tell you we didn't think we were gonna make it to the playoffs. We were missing a lot of players, but still we were
I mean, it
like,
was also a quite new team, no?
it was a whole new team, and like I told you, we're young. And it was the first time that Getse actually said, this year we're gonna just take the young players, put them in NLB, and we will see. Obviously, we had players that were there for years, but I mean, I was one of the youngest last year, and now I was one of the oldest. I
And
mean,
had a
one
bigger
of the
role as
oldest.
well, right?
Yeah, obviously, way bigger role. Every year was a bigger role for me, and obviously, it's different, and you're obviously more confident. But yeah, I mean, we were really young, and I didn't know how it was gonna go. It was just more of a, we're like, "Wait, let's develop, let's get better," and then the whole team comes. Like we're nobody's injured, and we have the new players and everything. And every game was just better and better and better, and then we started beating good teams, and then we're like, man, we can actually do this. Like,
We got this
we
actually.
got this. I mean, we didn't think we're gonna win the championship, but it's like the playoffs. Obviously, we can
Don't you
do it now.
think it's too far to already think we're gonna win the championship, or
I
can you
mean-
set it as a goal?
I mean, at that time, it didn't feel realistic, to be honest. I mean, it's okay to be confident. I always say you need to, have a good high goal, but you need to be realistic. And because it's sometimes, like, in a team you need to set goals, not dreams. So
True.
it's different. Obviously you want that championship, everyone wants, but at the end of the day, it gets it's a team that needs to have a goal at the end of the year that's realistic for for how they're gonna approach the next year and everything. So obviously their goal was just, let's try to make the playoffs. And some players, they just got way better than we thought, and our young players just played way better than we thought they were gonna play. And we as a team had a way better chemistry than we thought we were gonna have.
That's amazing.
So, when we realized that, it was crazy. And then in the playoffs, it goes really fast. It's like you need to beat 3 teams. It's like the first round, 3 games, the best of 3. Then you have semifinal, best of 3, and then you have finals, best of 5. So you need to beat 3 teams. You need to beat them 2 games again, and then 3 games. So it's not that easy, but still, like,
It's also physically challenging.
so yeah, once you're in the playoffs, everyone has kind of a chance. But still there, most of the time in the playoffs, the better team wins, because it's not just one game and then you maybe like have a bad game. The good team has a bad game and then the other team wins. It's like it's 3 games. So
they can
most
come
of the
back.
time the better team wins.
Mhm.
And in the finals also 5 games. It's clear who is better most of the time.
Mm-hmm. So even if you win, they can come back and just simply run you over because they saw the mistakes or your strength, and they just put a
Yeah.
stop on it.
1 year earlier, we were in the semifinal, winning the first game against Morges.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
And then the second game, we were like, okay, we're going to win it. And we were winning. We were up 15, end of the third quarter.
Oof, dangerous.
And we're like, okay, it's 10 minutes left and 15 points up. We're just going to go to the finals. And
Wow.
we were not celebrating, but in our mind, we're already like thinking
going.
about the finals.
Wow.
And then, like they make 1-3, 2-3, 3 threes, and the gym is just going crazy. And in basketball, it switches so fast and the atmosphere changes so fast. And then you're like, damn. And in a switch, everything happened. And then one of our best player injured his hand, had a fracture. And then, like, in 5 minutes, our whole season changed. And we lost the second game, and then the third game we didn't have our best player, and we lost the third game. They were better than us, but it was just crazy. We were like just 10 minutes and we're in the finals, and it's just insane to. Yeah, that's basketball. So you can really never put your foot out of the gas, like never.
You have to always stay on it and just keep on going and stay focused. As Kobe said, job is not finished.
Job's never finished until the end.
Yeah.
And but that's also good because you can also always come back.
Facts.
So when you realize a team can beat you like that, you're like, when you're losing, you're like, I can do that too. If it's possible.
This is possible for us as well.
So that's what I like so much about basketball. So it's never finished until the end.
Wow. Okay, let's do a quick break. I have to turn on the other camera.
Let's do a break, my guy.
And we are back, guys.
Bro just bought this and it's crazy good, bro.
I have to play around. Since it's the first episode, But yeah, you mentioned losing the playoffs and having the possibility of getting into the finals and probably even win it. The process of how do you go through that, and also now today you're a champion. It's 2 different outcomes. How can you compare now your mindset of after losing and getting into the off season and winning and getting into the off season?
Well, I mean, I had 3 NLB season now. The first year we went to the finals, and I didn't play a lot, 2 or 3 minutes, but we played against a team that was relegated from the first league, but they were relegated because of not because they were not good enough, but because of financial problems. And so they only had professionals, and we were actually the best NLB team, but because they were there, we had like no chance. And so in the finals, we lost 3-0, and I was injured for half of the season. And so this season didn't mean much to me. I was more like, okay, let's make a goal, let's have a better role in this team, because winning without having a big role, it just doesn't feel the same. And then the second year, I played maybe 15 minutes in average, 10 to 15, which is also not insanely much. But I thought, I'm going to make my part and let's try to win a championship. And this happened in the semifinal. And I mean, this was already at the beginning of the year. Almost wanted to stop with basketball because it was so hard for me to just play 3 minutes and everything. And then, coach told me, we won the gold, and he just motivated me. He gave me the medal of the finals for the second place, and he told me next year we get the first place. And
Amazing! Wow.
I came back and
Manifested.
The second year we lost in the semifinal.
Oh yeah, true.
Yeah,
Right.
we lost, and so it's hard because we're in
Same
the
goal.
finals, and then you lost in the semifinal. Like, okay, it's never gonna happen. And then the third year you come, and it's like, okay, let's make it to the playoffs. So you like, it's a bit of disappointment. And the way I approach every summer, it was more individually to get a bigger role in the team, to get more minutes. And this year I really had a big role. I was playing 25 to 30 minutes average. Sometimes I wanted to play more, but to be honest, to have that type of conditioning, it's, even if you want to stay healthy for the whole season, it's just not realistic. So 25 to 30 was perfect. And I had sometimes in the season I wanted to play more. You always have a bit of downs and ups, and with the coach also.
Obviously, yeah.
But
you
I
have
was
ambitions as well,
Yeah, but I was happy to have a bigger role. And the off season I went really hard every time, because that feeling of losing, and it's hard. And this season I really wanted to prove that I was good enough for that role that I got. And so I trained really hard. I approached all the things that I can do great. Also, I kept training on that, but mostly on my weaknesses. And so, that's the way I approached it. And, the fact that we were close every time, it felt insane to get that championship. Now when I look at this medal, it's just, it's not really about the medal, about getting the gold, because to be honest, if I was injured again this season, if I didn't have this role,
it wouldn't
it wouldn't
mean
I
less.
it wouldn't mean anything. At the end of the day, it's just a
Totally
medal.
get it, yeah.
It's just an object, but when I look at it, it's really like the memories I get from it, and like the whole road to this point, to getting to this championship, and what it means to me. And so, that's just an insane feeling. Like, it's
Wow.
not like the fact that you won, it's how you won. And I think
Wow.
in life you need to realize it's not really about where you want to go and be at where you want to be, but it's more about how you want the road to look like. Because at the end of
Mhm.
the day, that's life. We don't live to end, we live to live.
Wow. That's
So
beautifully said, bro.
So you want a great life, you want to live great, so you always actually talking about the road till the
Mhm.
end, because at the end you die and then it's over.
True.
And so that medal, it just means the season ended. It just doesn't mean anything else. But so if you enjoy the road, and if you actually won,
You have
and you can
meaning
look
to
at the
it.
medal and
Yeah.
it can mean something to you,
Wow.
then you're never going to forget it. This medal, it's always, every time I'm going to look at it, it's basically like a picture from our team. I look at the medal and I'm like,
Wow,
I
that's
remember
beautiful.
every single memory of this year,
Wow.
and the ups and downs. And that's how I think it should feel like when you achieve something. Don't like it's just the memories. You live life to get good memories. You don't
Mhm.
live life to get somewhere.
Wow.
Yeah.
Just be in the moment and just enjoy the process of it all.
Yeah.
The highs and lows, everything means something.
Yeah.
And even the bad things brought you where you even got. You know, I mean, you lost last year, but I mean, if you even won then, I don't know if you would have felt this medal as something meaningful, and you said it wouldn't be
No, it
anything.
wouldn't be. I mean, the second place medal I could have thrown out. I mean, I could have. I don't even know what I took it. It was like I didn't play for the. I just felt like if I wasn't here, it it would be like no difference, you know.
Wow.
So I didn't really feel like I deserved it. And this year I can actually say that maybe if I wasn't there, like maybe we would not have this medal. And for a lot of players in our team, if they were missing, if one of them was missing, we would not win. We really won as a group, and I think it makes it way better because at the end of the day, it's a team sport,
Yeah.
and you know, we really won as a team. I mean, at the end of the day, we won the championship as a team. You know, there's no
Facts.
individual. The medal
No,
is not an
I mean, it's a
individual
team
prize.
sport,
It's a team
so
sport, and the fact that we won as a team, that there was no superstar playing one-on-one the whole game, but we actually played together. It just feels 10 times better.
no, totally get it. So slowly the time is running out, so I have one last question for you that I feel like it's very important, especially for the audience. Um, what advice would you give a younger you or a younger basketball player who's right now trying to achieve his goals
Yeah.
or in the process, whatever the age, 15, 16, or even earlier? What would you say that you wished you would have loved to know today?
I mean, it's funny you ask me that because yesterday I was at this Bölle All-Star game playing, and I
I
saw a
was there
lot
too.
of yeah, you were there too, and you were watching. I was playing, and I just, you know, there were kids that played with us, and they were like 15, 16. They were just so talented, and I
Yep.
felt like old head talking to them and giving
Totally.
them, yeah. But it's funny because I will tell you now the same thing I told them. I'm like you maybe feel like you have time, like still enjoy the game and everything, but I mean, if I wish someone have had told me like what where the level was at and how much I had to work hard to be a professional basketball player,
Yeah.
because I realized that when I was 17, and it's way too late to work hard, because a kid needs motivation to push really hard, to push till the
So
limits.
you feel like a parent would be a great help as
Yeah, I
well,
mean, if your
besides the
parent
team,
pushes you, I mean, maybe as a kid you're not gonna like it so much, but
obviously.
I mean, you're gonna be so thankful at the end, because if you're a professional and that's your dream, then you're gonna be so happy. And I wish someone told me that and did that to me. I mean, my trainer, individual trainer, shout out Bernard,
Big
basically
shout
showed
out.
me how trash I was when I was 17 and how much it took, and then I realized I had to work way harder. And yeah, I mean, go, like, as a young guy, I would just say go to a gym where you're the worst player and try to always upgrade. Never feel too comfortable. Always put yourself in a position where you're uncomfortable, because when you're young, you learn so fast. You get to the level so fast, to the next level.
Mm-hmm.
So even if it's uncomfortable, you're gonna improve way, 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 way faster. And you're gonna be happy at the end that you did, even if it's in the moment it's gonna be uncomfortable. So if you feel like you're the best player in your team and the league is too easy, go up, try,
Facts.
go make some tryouts. I don't care.
Get out of your comfort zone.
Make 15 tryouts. I mean, at the end of the day, if you miss the tryout, it's the same if you didn't do the tryout. So you have
True.
nothing to lose. So
I mean,
just,
especially you know the market, then you know who is your competition
yeah, I
and
mean,
what the level is to reach.
you're just gonna learn. You know, if you don't do good on the tryouts, then you're gonna be better on the second one. So don't be scared. Just go out there. And I mean, I think it's easy for me to say that because I didn't really do it and I didn't realize it. Nobody told me, but it was also on me to realize. But I think as a kid, it's hard to really know, you know,
What's best for you
what's best
actually.
for you, and you need people that have experience to tell you. So what I would say is, like, just try to go to the next level as fast as possible, but still enjoy the game. but you need to have goals even as a kid. Approach the game the way I said it in the beginning of the podcast, in a healthy way.
Facts.
But you still have to have a plan. You still have to work hard, and
Stay consistent and believe in yourself. Never doubt
that's
yourself.
for sure. Believe in yourself. I mean, basketball is for sure all about believing in yourself. I mean,
Facts. Even if somebody tells you something else.
you know how many players I know that are so talented but have no confidence in themselves, and players that are trash.
And
I mean,
this is
trash,
common.
but have confidence, and I mean,
They're
know
there
we know
because
those.
of the confidence. Yeah.
Exactly, and so you just be confident. I mean, it's easy to say, but like
Work
there's
on it. Try
the-
to work on it.
work on it, But because sometimes we say if you train really hard, then you're gonna be confident. But for some people, they train every day and they're still not confident. So it's also a mindset thing. You need to tell yourself to be confident. You need to change your mindset, become a character that is confident, and not
Facts.
say, "Yeah, I'm not that type of guy." No, if you want to become that guy, you can.
Wow. Beautifully said, bro.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for being here.
Thank you, man.
We will surely have a update in the next season then.
Mm-hmm.
How it's
Sure.
gonna end out.
Mhm.
But yeah, again, Mike, congrats for winning the championship.
Thank you
and
for having me,
also
man.
It's an honor to have you here, and good luck to the next season. And yeah, guys, hope you enjoyed it.
Thank you. Man.
See you into the next episode,
Mhm.
and
Who's in the next episode?
it's gonna be a surprise, guys.
Surprise!
Be ready.
Surprise.
It's gonna be very interesting. Beautiful people are gonna be there. Very creative and amazing what they're doing in their craft. So yeah, they're simply individuals who just simply love what they're doing, or know how they're doing it. So I feel like they should get a little bit of acknowledgement and attention, and this platform is here for that, to support the people. And also someday maybe you're gonna sit next to by my side and have a chat with me and share your story with me. So yeah, that's the mission, that's the goal of this podcast. So on that note, see you guys. Hope you enjoyed Our Generation podcast, and see you soon, guys. Thank you,
See
bro.
you soon. Enjoy the ride, guys. Always enjoy the ride.
Peace out.